right, welcome to January Faculty Development Institute. We're going to follow up and kind of move forward, reflect on what we did in August and how that transferred over into your classrooms, and then take some steps to pull ourselves forward so that we can be better teachers. And so that's the goal. This first session is just going to be a kind of an overview of what the rest of the next 3 days will look like based on your feedback. We do listen. We have switched up the format a little bit. And then I'm going to talk to you about kind of a mid-year report of the activities and stuff that we and resources and help that we provided as the center to the faculty. So with that, well, I just told you what our session one. We're going to kind of the goals of the session of this 3 days, give you an FDI overview of what you're going to be doing this week, and provide you a center mid-year report. So what we're going to do during this FDI is reflect back on the things that you learned in the fall of 2016 and what types of active learning, teaching and learning activities did you incorporate in your class, how do they work, and how can we help you make them work or make them better. You're going to participate in an online course. So I'll explain that to you here in a minute. I'm going to explain to you TPAC. One of the things that I thought about when I was thinking about content for this faculty development is I know you hear our department say, use technology. You need to use technology, but if you don't really fit the technology into your class so that it supports teaching and learning, then you're not using it effectively, you get irritated, and then you don't use it anymore. So I'm going to provide you one of many frameworks in my field that I like to use when I think about designing instruction using technology. We are going to spend a learning session in seat talking about the Master Course Manager responsibilities, and then you're going to be spending some computer time going over master course reviews to prepare you. So when I say, hey, classes are starting, make sure your master's ready, we're going to take you through each step. And there's only about 4. So that's one thing we're going to do. I don't know what day it is. Hold on. Okay. On Thursday, we're going to have breakout sessions. One of the things that you all expressed in your evaluation for FDI Fall 2016 was we need to diversify Moodle instruction. So we can have something for somebody that is familiar with Moodle, expert at Moodle. We're going to teach you something new. If you're not too familiar with Moodle and you'll be in another section, so you'll have sessions to choose from, but you will learn one new thing about Moodle by the end of the week. And then we're going to talk about ways to maximize your classroom using the Moodle interface, the Moodle LMS, to support in-seat in addition to online classes. So you have a syllabus. If you didn't get one, they're up here. And if you just came in, feel free to go get you some food and drink and whatever you all want. The syllabus here. This is going to be a hybrid model design where we're going to do some in-seat and online components. The online component is the Faculty Development Institute Spring 2017 course, which you will find listed in Moodle under your list of my courses. And I'm going to take you through that after I finish this slide, because that way I don't have to come back to this slide. Our in-seat sessions will be the TPAC model, course manager responsibilities, course manager application, come learn something new, and then we're going to maximize your classroom in an exercise of reflection and goal setting. let's see. Alrighty, so here's kind of what the course looks like. We have our learning objectives, a copy of the syllabus and schedule that you have in your hand. There are 3 modules, 3 lessons. The first one is using Moodle for in-seat classes to promote active learning. Basically what you'll do is you'll read the objectives, you'll click on the book, and then one thing that you'll notice right here is we will have office hours in Moodle the next 2 days for you all. So if you go back to your office and you're working on it, somebody will be in here from 1:15 to 3:30 to answer any questions that you have about online learning module 1. In the syllabus, you'll notice we have assignments and due dates. So you do have an assignment due today, which is online lesson activity 1. And then the course reviews, we're going to do that together tomorrow. And then there's some other activities that will need to be done tomorrow afternoon in the second lesson, which is using Moodle to create assessment activities aligned with active learning principles. And again, here you just click on the book. And to show you a little bit about it, once you get in here, to move forward to the next page, you can either click here or you can click the next arrow. Oh, it doesn't matter. And then if you come, hold on. In here we have a little article. You'll click on it and read it. And then on the following page, is that an article?
That one is, yeah.
Oh, okay. We have an article, a reading activity. I think there might be a little quiz in there.
The reading activity is the quiz.
Okay.
It's a little
formative assessment piece. Mm-hmm. And then a discussion forum.
And also in the videos, just so that you know, there's a reading and a little quiz and a video. Just so you know, in the videos have embedded quiz questions. So you'll be listening, then all of a sudden the video will cut out and there'll be a little quiz question. And you have to answer the little quiz question and go on. Okay? Just to show you some things that you can do for your classes to help your students be active learners. Not to torture you.
Yeah.
But
well, it provides you immediate feedback. Am I getting this concept or not? So
yeah, and I've seen the important thing.
You know, we're not doing this to give you quizzes. We're doing this to expose you to instructional strategies that you may want to incorporate.
And I'm going to give you one other tip for those. When you get to those little clickable parts in the book, if you hold down tab on your computer and then click, it'll open up those activities in another page, like another tab in your browser, and that makes keeping your place in your book a whole lot easier. So I recommend right-clicking on those links and opening them in another tab just to make your life faster.
The 3 of us will be in the instructors. I think where you put Dr. Stivers and Dr. Brown will be in there too. And so hopefully within that discussion forum, what we would really like to see is robust discussion about the instructional strategies that we're presenting. All right. So that takes care of how this week is going to roll. We're going to be basically in this room till lunch. Lunch is on your own today and tomorrow. Thursday, we will provide you lunch from Mezzo's, downtown Midway. It will be brought in here. And just a little plug, they're super excited to be serving the Midway faculty. They were really excited. Just basically overjoyed. Like, it was really, like, I get chill bumps. They were so happy that they really are excited. Then, in the afternoon, you're on your own. You do have Moodle requirements to fulfill the FDI hours. So, centers of teaching excellence all across the country are data-driven pieces of institutions. And so we collected data throughout the entire semester. The rest of the presentation will be a discussion with you all about the data and where we can make improvements. So let's start there. So here's Moodle participation. Let me explain to you this graph. The red is everybody, faculty and students. The yellow-orange are students, and the blue faculty is down here. And upon initial onslaught, you might be like, crap, that's not a lot of faculty participation. But then think about really, there's what, 30 students to one teacher? Your graph is going to be lower, okay? However, that's not to say that Midway University has not experienced some serious issues with faculty participating in their course in the last semester. And this is not full-time, just full, it's all adjunct, all the faculty who've had some issues. So due to those circumstances, the administration will be pulling a report bi-weekly of faculty participation in Moodle. Just to make sure we don't encounter some of the disasters that we narrowly escaped. Are there any questions about this slide? Any discussion at all? Yes, ma'am.
Is there an expectation that NC classes would use Moodle for more than the gradebook function and syllabus, like as a reference, or?
Well, in my world, yes, there is that expectation because it's really good practice to incorporate an LMS into your NC class, and that's what our last session will be about when I talk about maximizing the classroom. It's a place for students to go get resources, to get extra help, to communicate outside of the classroom. But as far as requirements, I don't make those. Anybody else have any questions? All right. The next slide says, here are the things that students do. Logging in, quiz questions, forum, gradebook, assignments submitted. Now, what that tells me as an instructional designer, there's like a monorail of interaction. It's not like everybody's interacting on a high level, but they are interacting with the content. That's what this tells me here. Your students are interacting with content, may not necessarily be interacting with each other, and may not necessarily be interacting with you. The people piece is not the forum posts, possibly, but knowing some of the forums that I've seen, probably not. So one of the things we want to think about improving here is the interaction between students and between you and the students. You guys are doing all kinds of stuff that teachers do in Moodle. Grading, discussion forum after discussion forum. So that's what you guys are doing. Okay, here's something really cool. This is Moodle participation by day, okay? Where does everybody do their homework? Yeah. I know that. I already knew that before the graph came out. You probably did too. But you can see, though, I think it's very interesting, blue is faculty. So students are participating like mad on Sunday, and now all of a sudden our blue bar goes up. Now, one thing we want to point out here is that these numbers represent the total number of participation activities on a given day in the thousands. So you're going to add some more zeros at the end of these. But, I mean, that's quite a bit. Would that be 668,000?
An average of 668,000 participation activities every Sunday of the last semester.
In Midway's Moodle.
Represents.
That's huge. We got a lot of stuff going on, and I think we should all be very proud of it. I mean, that's ginormous. Yes?
For SCB students online, it seems that they're working during the day, and most of the activity happens between 10 and 2 in the morning. A lot of that sort of is not that big.
No, we cannot pull statistics by hour on our Moodle server. There's no way that I can provide you guys with what hour of the day students are participating or what hour of the day you guys are participating. The only thing I can pull is how much per day.
So one place that you could look and see that is in the participants list, I think it is where it has, when they last logged in and about the time that they were in. So if you wanted to kind of gauge hours, that's something you would have to do on your own.
On a per course basis.
Yeah, on a per course basis. But really, let's just round this up to 700,000 people doing Moodle activities on a Sunday, on any given Sunday for Midway University. That's a huge blanket of people working in our Moodle. I'm pretty proud of that. Moodle questions resolved. So questions that we got from faculty and students this semester in August 93. It'll probably be January and probably be up here too. Next week we'll be pretty busy. And then you can tell as it goes along, they decrease. Everybody's becoming more familiar with the interface. That's broken down by month. Total course design consultations. That's where you faculty members contact one of us and we work with you individually. We had 19 in August, but then by the end of the semester we're done. We're just trying to get out of here. Okay? Designing a course doesn't have to stop after the first month. If you get feedback, some sort of feedback from your students, whether it be a low quiz grade, a crappy set of papers, just blanketed boring faces, and while you're standing up there trying to teach them the love of your subject, you don't have to say, oh, well, I'll just come back tomorrow. You can contact us in October, November, and December, and maybe we can find something to help breathe life into what you're experiencing. So don't forget, we're here for you if you need us. Total question resolved, and this is not Moodle, if I stand correctly. We resolved 136 questions, a majority of them ex-proctor. So your students are getting in there and using ex-proctor because we're helping them. Smartboard laptops is a small percent. Software request is usually Camtasia or Smartboard, and then something that's not working. So this is kind of, look here, August. This stuff right here, August and October, the reason why those are higher would be the beginning of the modules and your ex-proctors. Now, library service questions resolved. The sender also houses our library. So we have library data that we pulled, and some of it is quite interesting. Naturally, the printer is the biggest culprit. That's what we do over and over. That's what we fix the most in the library is the printer. Just individual IT help, where are things located is a big chunk. So that tells me that your students are coming over there, but they don't know where things are. But at least they're coming over there. Reference and circulation are pretty low there. Our largest questions would be September, 182. Not very many in December, which we only went into a little bit of December, and I think they've already figured I just have this one last thing to go. But so there's our library questions. Amount of time, how long it takes us to resolve the problems that come across our desk. 35% of the time, we're between 0 and 10 minutes. And I'm pretty happy with that. A lot of times, if we don't get right back to you with the answer, it's because we're waiting on somebody else to answer us. Some of those Moodle problems, I know I've had to contact our provider, and so that adds minutes to my resolution time. And don't think for 1 second I don't know that, because I'm like, okay, you're getting into my stats here. Email me back. It looks like to me only 2% were we over 3 days. I mean, that really should be 0, but again, A lot of that has to do with we've done everything we can. We're either waiting for feedback from you, or we're waiting for feedback from IT or eThink, our LMS provider.
And
Caroline?
that also counts our faculty consultations, which are almost always several days running.
That's true.
So
That's true.
a large portion of that 2% is faculty consultation.
Oh, okay. All right. Yes.
There seems to be, well, it seems to be like 4 o'clock on Fridays. That's when stuff breaks down in my office. So
It's telling you it's quitting time, man.
We can ask him, but do we have to kind of wait till Monday?
No, I am connected to Midway University 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Now, I don't have my ringer on a lot of times because it gets on my nerves. But I do look at my phone very frequently. So you can email me, and if it's after 10 o'clock at night, I'm an early to bed, early to rise. I will answer you at 5 a.m. if you contact me past 10. So if it breaks down, just send an email or call me. I got my phone on here too. Like we're together. I think I'm going to claim it on my taxes as a dependent.
It's about the same time that he breaks down.
Yeah, I know. I was like, is it the technology breaking down, Mr. Deputy?
And if it's an actual technical problem, not like an educational technology, but like you can't log in or whatever, remember there's also after hours help for the help desk.
Well, if I break down at 4:01, I go into Tums.
I would say if I break down at 4:01, I'm in my car. So between August the 1st and December 16th, we resolved over 1,000 questions and problems here on campus. 4 of us. Kathy's only library. She doesn't do the middle tech stuff. She does do the printers very well. A lot better than I do. All right. This slide is the one that bothers me the most. We sent a survey. It doesn't bother me the most. It's the most problematic in my view, in my opinion. We sent out a survey asking faculty, we're here to train you. What workshops do you want? And you said, we need to learn about technology. We need to learn about this and that. And so we scheduled a lot. This is how many trainings we had last semester out of a department of 4. We ran those trainings. Now, our biggest attendance was fall FDI, but you were mandated to be here. So don't look at that and feel good about yourself. Okay? I almost took that off, but that's the only big tall bar on the graph. Our most attended were the lunch and learns. They were powerful. Minus the last one. Nobody showed up to the last one. And one of the things that bothers me most about that, I was actually at a conference during that time. But my instructional technologist reported back saying nobody came. But there were faculty members they could see sitting in the cafeteria. We have it over in the cafeteria. So here we've organized this whole thing, and you're just one door over. Like that part kind of bothered me a little bit. Windows 10, we updated it. Everybody freaks out and said, hey, we'll have sessions. Nobody shows up. For Windows 10?
Yeah, I should be on
Okay. 1. Here to 1. Hold on a minute. There we go. Now, IT reported that data back to me. I was like I said. So, again, nobody likes wasting their time. When I look at that graph, I think I might have wasted some time. So, how do you suppose we go about changing to get our bars raised on this? Do you all have any ideas?
I would change the time that these are offered.
Okay.
Almost every single one was either during a class for me or I was.
So, what times do you suggest?
question.
Yeah.
I'm hating
Okay.
I don't know. I mean, because there's a lot of them, I was like, gosh, I really want to do it, but I couldn't because it was in class time.
Well,
What about either like before or after faculty assembly when everybody's already together?
go. Okay.
And I know it's very difficult for faculty to find the time,
Mm-hmm.
but maybe at a time when everybody's already together. And I don't know if you all think that would work better than not.
One of the things I thought about doing was compartmentalizing it. So I can be like, your department, what time is good for you guys? That's kind of what I was thinking.
I was wondering, do we have a free set hour anymore? We used to have a free hour set that everybody was free. I don't think we have that anymore, do we?
No, I don't.
Tuesday,
Because it was
Thursday
always
at
the same.
3:20 is pretty open for
It was
all
always the same
full-time
designated
faculty.
time. We could just schedule it always then.
I teach in the mornings every day.
Well, and that's why a lot of my, yeah, and that's why most of these, the throwbacks, TBTs, when we're there to help you work on maximizing your classroom, were Thursdays. One of them I had to move because it was in what? Yes, sir.
Al, why don't you schedule less sessions?
Well, I'm definitely going to do that this semester. You don't guarantee that. You know, again, I'm not. One of the things that I can't stand is wasting time. It drives me nuts. And to me, there's a lot of time that we wasted preparing for these, for you know, not a large enough percentage to say it was worth it.
To
as
be
far as
honest
it
with
went.
you, for most of those, the same person, Natasha Ramsey, attended. The one attendee was Natasha Ramsey. Wasn't even a faculty member.
Yeah.
So,
You know, here's the deal, and I don't know any other way to say it is this, is unless you make time to better your teaching and learning strategies, you won't become a better teacher. Now, you may not be in this business to become a really good teacher, but I would hope that that is something that you want to be, that you want to improve yourself, just like you want your students to improve. We are lifelong learners. That is what the assumption that I am under. But we would like to see these numbers go up. Yes, sir.
If I'm not mistaken, Friday afternoons are pretty open. I don't know why we don't schedule more things on Friday afternoons. I schedule my school meetings on Friday afternoons. And
Okay.
I expect faculty to be there.
Okay.
So I would be more than happy to invite you to one of our meetings and you can have a couple hours.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. You know, I'm not saying this is all on you. Again, when I reflected on this data, I'm like, well, how can I make this better? And that's when I came up with the departmentalized thing.
Can I follow up to Charles and a couple of things other people said and your graphs? Friday afternoon from lunchtime till school meeting. Based on your charts, we're doing the least amount of work on Moodle and things then. A lot of us are spending 2 hours hanging out just waiting for that meeting to happen at 2:30. It's cheat day in the cafeteria, so you're more likely to get people to show up for lunch and learn
I
than
think
for main after
we might have hit
Fridays.
on a mother love
So
right
like,
there.
you know, every third Friday or
Right.
every other Friday,
Yeah,
lunch and
okay,
learn.
all right. Well, we'll see. Now, we won't have another one of these reports until we come back from August, where we'll take this semester's data. But we'll see, we'll make some, we'll definitely do some Friday options. My favorite one to attend and organize is the lunch and learns. Those are awesome, so we're definitely going to keep those up. Yes?
Just maybe as a different perspective, have you looked at other delivery methods besides face-to-face workshop?
That's
Because
right.
for me, especially for technology, I don't learn that well just by being in a room with other people
Mhm.
talking about it. I'm much more, can I get on the computer in my own
Well, we
time
have
and
those,
try to-
that's,
most of these are hands-on computer. A throwback, we were in computer, advanced Moodle, all the bite-sized learnings were in the computer lab. I would say 90% of these were computer lab
But
based.
for me, I do better just to have something beside me and do it at my own pace, in my own space, rather
Oh,
than
okay,
just-
okay, all right.
and we do have that. We have video tutorials, and she's got a slide on that coming up here in a couple of minutes.
Yeah, okay. So maybe alternative methods, not meeting face to face, but an online series of
I
training.
mean, and honestly, like the Windows 10, I just figured it out.
I know.
I didn't feel like I needed to come ask questions.
Right, no.
That's just how I learned, like I said, specifically technology.
Right.
Jump in and push buttons.
Okay.
So, yeah.
All right. Any other comments about that? I mean, the goal here is to raise the bar for everybody, us included. And we're here to serve you all, so how can we make these bars go up?
Some of those I see at the end that had 0 attendance, the OneNote and OneDrive, we had a group learning session on that, so maybe people didn't come because they felt like they'd already gotten it.
I went to OneDrive.
Yeah.
This is
I taught the OneDrive, and nobody came to it. So it must be a different one that you're talking
Eric
about.
did one.
Okay.
I know you, it was Eric.
Eric or Solid, because
It was every.
Solid did
Solid did
one.
one for all of us.
Solid did one.
That was the only one there.
But that was in faculty development.
Yeah.
Right. This was a separate session.
I know, but maybe we didn't need it.
It was for
Right. No,
storage
that's
and
fine.
transfer.
you know,
Really?
I think they bring up a good point, because classes, you know, we're in this pilot this year, classes ending at noon on Fridays. So I think that's, but then the other thing is, most everybody should be free Thursdays at 3:30, because faculty meetings are at 3:30 on the third
Thursday.
So you would have 1, 2, and 4 weeks
That's plenty.
at 3:30.
Yeah. So much content.
So I think those are 2 times.
Okay.
where-
Well, we'll try those, and I think maybe we'll try to department, hit each department at least once this semester and see how that works better. I'm all for a really, small environment, hands-on learning thing. That would work better for me.
I just want, at least one of my, I'm a department of 2. And one of those 2 is in the field, doing classroom observations, mentoring student teachers, at least 50% of the time. And that's unpredictable. So I'm going to have one faculty person who is likely to miss about 90% of these. I take responsibility for having attended only one. But I think for me, noon worked really well. Noon on Friday is for sure, because I'm here, it's $4 lunch.
Yeah.
But I do have one faculty person who's in field 50% of the time.
Right. Well, and I understand that. And I'm not saying I expect 100% of the time, but I think that you all could agree with me that that's pretty not very good data. That's what I was thinking. All right. So we'll take those suggestions. One of the things that I'm going to want you to think about, and we're going to, you have 2 days, we're going to address this is lunch and learn topics. Is there anybody that wants to? And the lunch and learn, let me explain how it works. We just orchestrate it because we're presenting to you all the time. We wanted you to present to each other. So that's what it's about. It's faculty led, faculty driven. We just make all the arrangements for you. So if something comes across your desk where you think other faculty members need to know, need to share, for example, Gina gave an overview of the
Counseling services.
The counseling services. I was like, I know psychology is not the word I want to use here. The counseling services here at Midway, so we all got to learn about it. Our first one was about how to reach these really quiet, non-participatory international students. How can we get them to talk more? And so those are really powerful trainings, and I felt invigorated when I left there. So we're taking any ideas that you all have, send them our way. All right, let's move on. Enough. Oh, yes.
I can offer another on counseling services, please.
Okay.
Early on.
Okay, that would be good.
Early on.
Okay, library instruction. Couple of things I want to show. Each one of these bars represents when a librarian went to a class for library instruction or were embedded in the course. The numbers are how many students were there, okay, the attendance. that's all fine and good. I think this piece is a little bit more like what our students are doing. So see, our students conducted 17,523 searches in our database, but they only retrieved 3,877 articles. So you see that gap between what they're looking for and what they finally found. What does that tell you about your students?
Exactly. They need improvement in their
They need improvement in their search terms. They're wasting a lot of time, which I've already set the precedent there. I don't do that very well. So, possibly consider getting some library instruction, not just at the beginning, but frequently, so that these two numbers can get closer together. Ideally, we'd like them to be equal when they fight it the very first time they look. We know that's not possible, but we definitely can probably try to narrow that gap there.
I don't see English 102 represented in that, and I know Brittany came to my class twice.
Okay.
And really, all English 102, they're either supposed to come to her or she's supposed to come to them. So I don't know why that's not reflected there, but.
Was that through Natasha's? The student service?
No, that data came from Kathy. So if, like for example, if I went to a library, if I went to a class as a librarian, then I was supposed to report to Kathy that I did it. So if I failed to report to Kathy that I did it, it failed to make it on that route.
Brittany may not have.
Okay.
But she did do my class.
Okay. So just something to consider when searching out our services is maybe let's help our students narrow that searches versus hits. All right. So our YouTube site, instructional design videos, 59 times. Quality course design on assessment was viewed 11 times. That was our largest player. We did have a few faculty go back and look at the FDI sessions that were recorded. I was pretty pleased with that. The very first webinar, because we do also do online professional development hours. We had 2 this semester. Again, attendance was only 2.
2 for the first ones, 1 for the second one.
Yeah. They are in the evening hours, so I don't know if that time frame doesn't work, but we do have other alternatives besides face-to-face trainings here through the center. But that first webinar got viewed 9 times, and it's about to get viewed 30 more times.
Because you guys are now going to be watching those.
Yeah, it's in the course we put together. Faculty Moodle videos. I was really happy about this. Do you realize grading, you got 5 here, book and Moodle. How to use the book of Moodle was viewed 84 times. Now what that tells me is either one person is having a really hard time over it and over it and over it again, or you're really interested in, adding more interactivity into your course.
We want the second option.
Yeah. So access restrictions in Moodle, that directly affects your grade book. That was viewed quite a few times, which I'm pleased about that. And then editing the course header so you can put your dates in there. So that's what that YouTube channel looked like. Teaching with technology videos. So these are videos that aren't like, that cover technologies, but not Moodle. Okay? PowerPoint to record video presentation, 18. Mac, let's see. Spark video is a how-to. What is Spark?
Spark, Adobe has 3 free products, Post, Page, and Spark. Spark is to make short videos, and you can either animate them with like cartoon type graphics, or you can put your own images in there, or you can put PowerPoint slides in there, and it's extremely easy. And then it's hosted on Adobe Cloud for free forever. And you can make it private, or you can make it public, or you can make it invitation only. So a lot of the students, I had a lot of questions this semester. How can students make videos for online classes? So I made those 3 videos, one to make videos with PowerPoint, one to make videos with PowerPoint on a Mac, since the recording feature doesn't work on Macs, and then one to use Adobe Spark if you wanted someplace that automatically hosts what you created. And those are some great little videos, and I got a lot of positive feedback from your students about using them.
So good stuff. I'm pleased with how the YouTube channel data is going. Other faculty training videos. Ring Central wins the ball game. 141 times that was viewed. We only had 216 total views.
It's just a phone, guys.
Yeah. That's really funny. So anyway.
There's some other really great videos there, though. If you like Ring Central, you should really check out those other videos.
Yeah. Student videos. These are videos that students are on the student site. Plagiarism checker. Intro to portal.
Oh, right. These are videos that are part of the online student orientation that they watch that show them how to like communicate with your professor. In other words, how to use your email, how to use things in Moodle to communicate, using XProctor, accessing your Office 365 online for students. These are the types of things that we send the students to go look at when they become an online student here at Midway.
And they're really checking out portal.
That's just this semester's data.
So total hits on our center's YouTube channel was over 1,000. I was pretty happy about that.